What's up, nerds? Welcome to Nintendo Pow Block, our all Nintendo show. Remember, you can find this show on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. right here on our YouTube channel and DNAnetwork.net. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me from Team Nerd, go like, subscribe, and share, Kyle Waite.
What's going on, guys?
Hi,
How you doing today? I say hi. Hi, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle. Oh, man. I feel like it's been forever since we did a Pow Block episode.
Yeah, like
but there wasn't
last week, and then we didn't do one the week before, did we? Or did we?
We did one. I think it's only been 2 weeks since we've done one.
You know what it is?
If only I had this thing called. If only I had this contraption that I could check to see
scheduling and such. I think that it's been since Ed has not been a part of them. Like, we're confused on what we're doing on the internet anymore.
I know. Ed's the Nintendo guy, and he's that's what he's working retail, and it's Cyber Monday as of this recording.
You're the Nintendo guy too, Corey.
That's
you
true.
Really are. And even though I love my Xbox, I love Nintendo too.
Oh,
so
I love my Xbox too, dude. You should see my Black Friday queue download.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited.
Oh my gosh, dude! Look at that. Look at that.
That's all Black Friday? Oh, I see two different Batmans. So it was Arkham Knight and the Telltale?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I was going to wait until the whole game came out, but you and Ed just keep talking about it in our...
I still need to play episode 4. I'm going to be doing that probably, I think, tonight or tomorrow, and I'm going to be posting up that Let's Play, so...
Yeah, it's... I'm excited to get on that, but we're not here to talk about Xbox. We already did that.
Yeah, we did.
For Connected. If you haven't checked out Connected, you can find that on our YouTube page, or you can see it on Team Nerd's YouTube page and check out Podcast Connected, where Kyle hosts and I get to sit in on his channel for I don't know, what do we do, like an hour?
About an hour-ish. I mean, if you spread it out through the week and you watch each of them and then the full episode, it's almost 2 hours.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Collaborations.
That's how this works, right?
Absolutely.
We know YouTubes.
We know how to YouTubes. Oh crap! Copyright? What? Oh, sorry. That's my own personal stuff.
Why is this thumbnail weird?
Oh yeah, you had the sizing wrong on those. That was awesome.
No, dude. I was like, okay, this looks kind of cool with a little black space above and below the image. It makes it kind of stand out a little bit. But what I didn't realize was when you are the creator, it shows up like that. But when you are watching it,
you only see for something, it zooms in.
It doesn't come up like that. And I was like, oh no. So
what is half in a owl block?
Oh it was bad for like I had to redo like 200 thumbnails or something. That was just bad. I still haven't redone them all. Like all the
Overwatch. I know. I still run into one every once in a while. I'm like, hey buddy, this one.
I haven't done this. Like I fixed the ones that the featured ones first, and I do plan on going back to fix the other ones. It's just like,
you know what we need to do, Corey, is we need to start a podcast where we talk about the woes of being a YouTuber and just complain about all this stuff that goes wrong on our channels.
Oh my gosh, that'd be great.
Oh my gosh. We would be able to spend probably 2 hours per day on that.
I know, that'd be great. We should do that. That'll be our new Thursday show.
Oh my gosh. There it is. It happened. It's
why
official.
YouTube hates us and why we keep going back for more.
Yeah.
A bad relationship podcast.
Oh my god. When no is not enough. Okay, we're gonna stop. We're gonna move forward. This is Nintendo.
I know. Okay, so we're here to talk about Nintendo. There's not a lot of news yet. There's not going to be any news till January. We all know that on the Switch, but there are some interesting things that have come out about the Switch. First, we're going to talk about GameStop took a survey recently and reveals that Nintendo Switch, where did it go? GameStop says the interest in Nintendo Switch is as high as the new Xbox. This comes from Nintendo Today, formerly Wii U Daily. So, I mean, That's incentive, right? That's a positive, I think. The survey revealed that 27% of those who are aware of the Switch plan on purchasing it, which is about the same level of interest of the new Xbox. Later on in the call, GameStop CEO Paul Raines shared his experience in testing out the Nintendo Switch after a recent trip to Nintendo, and Raines believes that the broad family appeal, as well as upcoming Nintendo titles, combined with portability, will lead to much higher sales than the 27% who are interested. He quote, I think it really got tremendous potential as a game changer. We'll have to wait and see. Like everyone else, or like everything else in this industry, the consumers will vote with their dollars. So, I mean, I guess I don't know. You think? I feel like 27% is a little bit low on something, but I mean, there's a lot of people. I'm sure a lot of people are aware of PlayStation who aren't going out to buy one or Xbox.
27% seems low to us, but if you look at it from like a business perspective, if you look at it from an investor perspective, you've got that. Oh, hitting my microphone. You've got that first, like, I want to say 10 to 13% that are the early adopters, right? And those early adopters are the ones that they know what it is, and they know that it's not going to be the best version of it, but they want it on day one, not necessarily for the company, but for themselves, right? So they want to be part of that early adoption. They want to see what it's all about because they believe that it's going to be cool. They believe that it's going to be fun, and they want to be a part of that early adoption. Then you've got this like little gray area of, you've got to get past this little hump to get into the mainstream. And that little hump's like 5%. So once you get into the mainstream, that's like anywhere from a 20% interest to like, I think it's 45 or something like that. So the fact that they're at 27, that means that they're past just the few early adopters wanting one. They're to the point where, it's already going to get into that first wave consumer. So I think the early adopters and that first wave consumer is going to get the product. They're going to see the Nintendo Switch for what it is, and they're going to either A, not like it, or B, love it. And from everything that I see on it, I think I'm going to love it. And I'm going to be part of that early adopter. I'm going to be getting it day one. And I expect to be talking nothing but positive things about it, other than maybe the battery life. But I mean, it's easy enough to plug in my 3DS, or my 2DS, which has like a 4-hour battery life. So, I'm not going to have too much of a problem with that. So I think the fact that they're already past that early, like 12.5 to 13%, I think that's good news. And the fact that they can say that it's comparable to how much excitement there is for the Xbox Scorpio. I've had a lot of talk with people, because I do talk about Xbox a lot. I've had a lot of talk with people about,
really? You talk about Xbox a lot?
That doesn't happen. Sorry. I'm just making things up now. But, a lot of people I've talked to, they're all like, I'm excited for Scorpio, but I still went out and bought an Xbox One S. And sure, those are the people, again, that are in that early adoption stage where they want to have the new shiny. They want to have the new freshness. But the fact that it's on par with the Xbox Scorpio, which is going to be this insane powerhouse of a console, and we're talking about a little tablet console, that's what impresses me, and that's what excites me. So I'm really excited for the Switch, though, and I think there's going to be great things coming from it. So,
yeah. I think another thing is like this does say 27% at launch. So I mean that's a big number for a system launch. So I'm interested. I think Switch is going to be one of those things where people might have to see it similar to VR to like really get the gist of what the console is.
I think the trailer that they put out, that right there, that was my seeing is believing moment. That was my, okay, I get exactly what this thing is. Yeah, I'm on board with that. I think, there are, yes, like you said, there's those people that are not in that early adoption stage, which are the latecomers, where those are the ones that they have to see it with their own eyes. They're not just going to believe what someone shows them on TV, And then there's those people that they wait until it's obsolete before they get it because they have to or whatever. But I think the fact that, it is very clearly the trailer showed what it was. And the seeing is believing. And 27% of everyone that knows about it, that's a huge thing. And sure, this was just a GameStop survey, but I don't know. I see this as a very positive message moving forward, and everyone that has gotten to see one or hold one or play with one has only been saying positive things, and that's coming from Nvidia, that's coming from now this GameStop CEO, that's coming from, you know, all these other developers. Ubisoft, I think, was praising it, that we talked about earlier. So I mean, I'm only hearing positive things about it so far, and sure, there's the naysayers that are like, well, the battery life's going to be horrible. But if it's a handheld, I mean, phone, you plug in your phone everywhere, you plug in your DS everywhere. If you still have a Vita, you're used to plugging that in places too. I mean, it's part of the handheld nature. You're just going to plug it in, so bring the charger with you, you know?
Right.
I don't know. And that's just... Sorry, I got all business technical stuff there.
No, and like as far as battery life goes, I don't remember the last time I really sat down to play like longer than 3 or 4 hours at a time.
Well, and like I've been really digging into Pokemon Sun, like, and I'm enjoying the crap out of that. And my 2DS battery life is about 4 hours because I've got the brightness setting on, I think, just one under the max. But you know, I've had this thing so long that the battery life has been diminished a little bit. And I'll sit there and I'll play it and I'll play it and I'll play it. I'm like, oh, the red light's showing up. It's been about 3.5 to 4 hours. Let's just go plug that in. And if I'm not next to my charger and I'm comfortable, I'll get my charger and put it where I'm at, or I'll just go, you know, sit down where my charger is and like play it at my desk or whatever. So to me, the battery life honestly isn't a big deal, because the rumor is also that it's using a USB-C port to charge, which, you know, that is awesome because it's not proprietary, and that means that, you know, you'll be able to use that with like any kind of USB plug-in place to charge it. That's even more accessibility. That's awesome. I love the idea of that. So
right.
I don't know. And again, that's speculation. That's what we've heard.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm super excited. So to transition into something else I was reading up on, Patcher, the infamous Nintendo analyst who always changes his mind, like, I don't know, every 5 seconds.
Changes his mind more than he changes his underwear.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. He says that Nintendo Switch will be a great supplement for PS4 and Xbox One owners. He did an entire episode of his show, The Patcher Factor, on the Switch console, where he answered questions from fans and shared his thoughts on the upcoming console. He likes the console. He thinks at $199 this thing will fly off shelves and sell more than either of the other consoles. He still thinks it's going to sit at $249, but he can't justify a price over $249. He thinks it'll just sit and collect dust at $299.
Well, that's kind of the thing too, is the price point has been rumored $200 to $249.99, which honestly, it's a weaker system. I know it's new. I know it's different tech, but it's a weaker system. So they're going to be hard pressed to justify coming out at anything more expensive than what the cheapest console is right now, which is $250 for the PS4 Slim or the launch Xbox One model. So I just, there's a lot there that, you know, if they do come out at $300, I'm still buying one, but I'm going to see where other people are like, oh, well, I'm not going to buy it until it drops. I think $200 is that perfect price point of, you've got the system, and then you get that $250 bundle. You've got the system, the dock, and a game, which it's rumored that Splatoon is going to be a pack-in game. And I could see them selling the system, like I've talked about before, as just the handheld version where you can buy the dock for, you know, $40 standalone later if you want it. So there's a lot that we don't know about how they're going to market this yet. So again, all that price is speculation, but yeah, $300, that's going to be a hard selling point, seeing as how you can buy the quote unquote stronger competitors at cheaper than that. So
yeah, I think it'll be. I think it's going to sit at around $250. I think Nintendo's done their homework. I think they looked at what worked and what didn't with previous consoles.
Well, and with the 3DS as well, because this is a handheld in their handheld market now, and they launched the 3DS at what, $350, I believe.
No, I think it was $250.
Was
because
it?
They dropped it to $170.
That's okay. That's got. I just feel like I remember it being either more expensive or the same price as the Vita. And like that kind of baffled me at the time because I did get mine, not day one, but within that launch week. Right. And I enjoyed it for what it was, but I also had, this Vita that was more powerful than it.
Right. 3DS launched at $249.99.
And there was like no games on it at launch. So that was rough. But I think, like you said, they have done their homework. They have looked at what they need to do for this. And from all the marketing that we have seen, it looks like they do want to do this at the right price so that they can not only be relevant, but potentially even undercut Sony and Microsoft. And that's not, because they're trying to, whatever, hate on Sony or Microsoft, but because they want to be competitive again,
Right. Right. So, I mean, I think Patcher has a point though. At 300, I think it won't sell, but at 250, I think selling it at 199 is almost too crazy, especially since Nintendo likes to sell things at least at cost.
The other thing, though, is that I can't remember who said it, but I remember one of the Nintendo executives was saying that they learned from the Wii U and they do not want to sell it at such an expensive price based on the competitors.
Right.
And I mean, that right there, that tells me that I think they'll at the most go 250. Right. Because they do want to at least still be competitive, like I've said. So,
yeah, for sure. So we're gonna transition into our final topic on Pow Block, which is something we talked about on Connected. Well, as this post yesterday, we talked about it on Connected. Xbox boss Phil Spencer says Nintendo has the strongest first-party games and would really love to see Mario on Xbox One. Spencer said that Nintendo's first-party games, quote, are the strongest of anybody. He said that he would love to see Mario on Xbox One, adding, quote, as someone who has been in the industry and playing games forever, I'll still say it. Nintendo has the strongest first-party of anybody. They're just fantastic, and the memories that they have instilled in so many of us. Phil Spencer has been saying good things about Nintendo for a while. He praised the company's first-party games in the past, and Nintendo was struggling with the Wii U and low sales. Spencer said, never count Nintendo out. So we had an interesting small discussion yesterday, but I want to keep talking about it. I think we both, agreed that if Nintendo stopped making hardware and just went a third-party route, that Xbox would be the strongest fit for them.
Absolutely. I mean, and like we've talked about on the flip side too, though, if Nintendo does amazing things, I still want to see a collaboration between Microsoft and Nintendo. I mean, before this topic even came up, like when we first heard about the Switch, I was saying, oh my gosh, I want everything on the Switch. I want Gears of War 4 on the Switch, because I love the idea of a console that's powerful enough to play console games, but also portable. So,
yeah. Yeah, I think I mean, like I was telling you on Connected, like I still feel like Nintendo has a strong handheld presence. I think it would be interesting to take Xbox games on the go on a Nintendo handheld with an Xbox brand on it. I think that they don't have anything to compete with Sony in terms of a platformer like Ratchet and Clank, where Nintendo obviously has Mario. Right. I think they don't have anything besides like Fable, but that IP's been dead for a long time.
Well, that's not even necessarily a platformer. I mean, I think their platformer would be like.
No, I'm saying Fable would like go up against something like Horizon, where Horizon would blow it out of the water, whereas Zelda is a little bit more comparable in that realm. I feel like Nintendo would fill a lot of the voids that Microsoft has been struggling to get off the ground.
Well, see, the thing is too, if instead of doing like a separate console specifically handheld Xbox stuff, like the Switch Joy-Cons come off. And
Right.
you could very easily, if something bad happens with Xbox, heaven forbid, or something bad happens with Nintendo, heaven forbid, you could very easily make Xbox side grips where you slide on pretty much an Xbox controller layout, and you've got your ABXY, how Xbox people know it, instead of the ABXY, how Nintendo has it, because Nintendo's setup is, it's the same basic concept, but it's layered differently. You could have that attachment, accessory, whatever, that does allow Xbox players to feel more at home on the Switch, if that ever were to happen. And I think that'd be really cool. I would love to see, Microsoft understand, we don't have a handheld. We have laptops where we have our crossplay, where you can play Gears of War 4 on your Xbox One or on your laptop. But how about this little Gears side game that still plays and feels like a Gears game, but it's a smaller, more, compact campaign? Let's talk to Nintendo. Let's put that on the Switch. Gears Judgment 2 or something.
Right.
Like I'd be all for that. I would love that. And I mean, Sony, they're crazy enough to make another handheld where they're probably going to make like a Vita 2 or a PSP 3 or whatever they're going to call it. But I think Microsoft collaborating with Nintendo is one of the smartest things that, they could do if they do want to venture into that handheld territory.
Right. and I think in terms of relationships, Nintendo already has a strong relationship with Microsoft in terms of, what they did with Minecraft and putting Mario's or Nintendo stuff in Minecraft.
Right. Because Microsoft does own Minecraft after they purchased it for like what, $2 billion or whatever.
Right. Microsoft did the Banjo-Kazooie game for Game Boy Advance a long time ago. Phil Spencer said that he wants Banjo in Smash Brothers. Right. And they've already got a business.
They've got a working relationship.
Yeah, exactly. They've already got that working relationship. So I really think that Xbox would be a really good fit for Nintendo. Plus, like what I was telling you earlier was, I think Xbox would go out of their way to restructure Xbox Live just to fit Virtual Console on there.
This is in the unfortunate scenario where Nintendo does not work or the Switch doesn't work, and Nintendo decides to start developing for third party or whatever, or as third party. Yeah. I mean, if that were to happen, if the Switch is a commercial failure and this was Nintendo's last eggs in the bucket or whatever, then yeah, I could see Xbox setting aside a lot of people, a huge team, to restructure Xbox Live's marketplace for Nintendo classics or whatnot. And that'd be a super smart thing for them, because Microsoft with Xbox Live, their Xbox Live arcade games, and that paved the way for all the online smaller indie games that we see today. And Nintendo's real great about charging us multiple times to play their old games again on Virtual Console. So to see that kind of removed in a way and made more accessible through Xbox Live's downloadable, where you can purchase it once and then download it again on your Xbox consoles, moving forward. I mean, I would love to see that. I really would. But at the same time, that is only if the Switch is a commercial failure. Only if that is Nintendo's last option, then I would like to see them sign on with Microsoft and be like, hey guys, we're going to develop for you because we appreciate everything that you've done for us, and we still don't like Sony for what they did to us 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't want the Switch to fail at all. Like, I think Nintendo is always going to be a hardware manufacturer in terms of what I love Nintendo for, but at the same time, it's super fun to speculate.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, that's half of what we do before we even get on these shows and talk to everyone on YouTube is we talk to each other and we're like, oh man, what if this? Oh man, what if that? we just talked on Podcast Connected about, a fan writes in to Randy Pitchford, and he's like, I would really love to see a Gears 4 and Duke Nukem collaboration, and it's like, or a crossover. Like, we're not the only ones that just picture these things. I'm sure there's plenty of gamers out there that have thought of this very scenario, but like, I think it's awesome that we do have the ability to come on these shows and talk to each other and, geek out about all this awesome stuff that we think, but also share that with, everyone that does watch these. So
could you imagine a Metroid Halo crossover?
Oh my gosh. Probably 6 or 7 years ago, there was like one of those, fan-made videos where it was Master Chief versus Samus, and then Samus takes off her helmet at the end, and Master Chief just stops like, what? and like energy swords versus like, it was ridiculous. It was, I would love, like, and I feel like they could very naturally do that too, because Halo is based on Earth, Metroid is based on whatever, They could find a way to cross that over to where not necessarily Master Chief and Samus meet up, but maybe Samus finds this fallen base of where the Spartans used to be and like learns about their lore, and then like Cortana pops up.
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's tons of ideas. There's tons of places where we could go with Nintendo Microsoft crossovers. I mean, oh my gosh, it'd be ridiculous.
Look what you're doing to me, Kyle.
Chills.
Look what you're doing to me.
Chills.
Yeah. But I think that's gonna kind of wrap up this episode of Pow Block. Like I said, there's not really a whole bunch of news yet. January might be a pretty busy month for us, though.
January is going to be really busy. Like, I'm so excited, though. Like, I cannot wait to hear more about the Switch. I want to know the price. I want to know the actual specs. Even though we already know it's not going to be as powerful, I do want to know the specs. It's not going to deter me from a day one purchase. I'm getting this thing day one, but I still want to know as much as I can about it so that I can be, as best as possible prepared for reviewing the console itself, reviewing some of the games that are launching with it, and everything else that comes past that. And of course, just talking about it here on Pow Block. Like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I haven't been this excited for a Nintendo console since probably the GameCube, honestly.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm super excited. I want to play Zelda. I want to play Mario. I would love to see what the changes they're making to Splatoon and Mario Kart.
Splatoon and Mario Kart. Yeah, I'm ready for that.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna wrap up this episode. Kyle, where can we find you on the interwebs?
On the interwebs, you can find me on the Team Nerd YouTube channel. This video, I also, post in a playlist all of the videos that I've guested on, so this is going to be in there. You can also find me on Twitter @_ my name is Kyle. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Kyle Waite, where I occasionally do Let's Plays. And if you want to join the Team Nerd Facebook community group, you can do that at facebook.com/groups/join Team Nerd. N3RD, all one word.
All one word. You can find me at Rogue Spartan 4 on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I'm going to be streaming a lot more soon, probably starting next week. You can find all of our content on DNAnetwork.net and on our YouTube page, youtube.com/Digital Nerd Advocates Network. Hit that little subscribe button. It's the red one that says subscribe. If it's not red, or if it's grayed out, you've already subscribed. Thanks a lot. Like, subscribe, and share. Check out our other podcast, NGR Radio, which I host with Matthew Keel on Mondays at 10 on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and Google Play, as well as the video version on our YouTube page. Check out something else. There was something else I was going to promote, but now I forget.
Podcast Connected.
Yeah, check out Podcast Connected that Kyle and I do over on Team Nerd. You can find it on our YouTube page as well, but you should go over there and subscribe to their YouTube page. I do have a new show in the works with Joey and Brian and Cameron and maybe Mitch. But nothing really to announce yet. It's just a little tease. So, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it, Kyle.
Yeah, sounds like it.
There's too much.
Well, we got to stop now before we start complaining about the NES Mini and we start talking about everything else.
So get me started. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and until next week, we love you.
Bye.